Hey YouTube, this is Erin coming at you from Birth Prep Doulas. I wanted to share a video today about poses that you may want to avoid during pregnancy. I get this question a lot and it is very important because yoga is super beneficial and it's not always easy to find prenatal yoga classes, or you may want to do it more often than a studio will honor or hold the class. So things that you could do at your home or you could do in a regular yoga class, and then just avoid these certain things. So if the teacher is doing, certain poses that you know that you should avoid, you can modify or choose a different posture. So first thing is breath work. All breath work is really beneficial. Most breath work is really beneficial throughout your pregnancy, but you do want to avoid ones that are the more awaking or energized breath. Such as Kapalabhati breathing, or known as breath of fire, where it's a very fast, rapid way of inhaling and exhaling. So that's a good one to avoid. And also breath retention, when you're asked to breathe deeply and then hold your breath for a second or 10, avoiding that, so not holding the breath. So that's the first. Second, any closed twist. So if you've ever been to a yoga class, twists have many benefits. They're very detoxifying and good for the body, and generally they feel really good. But when you're pregnant, you don't want to compress your baby's home. So you want to, if somebody is suggesting a closed twist, you can just do an open twist. So twisting to the opposite way or opposite side in a way that your belly won't be getting compressed. Also, it's good to avoid those just for your lower back. So the worst time to get injured is during pregnancy. There's already enough going on in your body. We don't need to add to that just simply from knowing things that could be avoided, which is the purpose of this video. Another thing that is good to avoid is when you typically are standing in a yoga class with your feet together and you start to fold forward or go into any sort of bend, there's no space for your belly. So to help with that is to separate your feet. So if you are coming into a forward fold, you have a little room in between your thighs for your belly to rest. Bending your knees is really good too if you are going to go into a forward fold. Using blocks or any other props are highly recommended, in my opinion. So no putting pressure on the belly there as well. So just leaving feet open, and that's in a downward dog position too. If you're transitioning from a downward facing dog, you can separate your feet a little bit wider. It should feel a little bit more comfortable for you and your baby. Also, this can cause a little less strain on your lower back, so take as wide of a stance as you want to. There is a hormone called relaxin. A lot of you probably have heard of it. Some of you maybe are like, what the hell are you talking about? Relaxin is what I do at home. So relaxin is a hormone that's super beneficial in pregnancy because it helps to soften the pubic symphysis. So it actually broadens the pubic bone and helps the cervix soften and prepare you for delivery. This typically reaches its peak during the 14th week. So in the beginning of your pregnancy is a really good time to be mindful of the relaxin hormone. And what that typically can do when we have this hormone increasing through our body is overstretch. So again, just trying to avoid injury from overstretching. It would be terrible if you pulled a hamstring just from doing a lunge that maybe, you thought, oh, well, I'm going deeper than I ever have, so let me try this. During pregnancy, it's not the time to find your strongest and highest peak of practice. So tone it down a little bit. Maybe instead of going 110% if you normally do, take it back to 90, even 80, 75 is fine. This is your warrior year, your year to shine and feel strong and healthy, but not overdo it. Your practice will still be there for you afterward, I promise. So yeah, usually the first 14 weeks and then also near the end at delivery, this hormone starts pumping through again. This one's pretty obvious for most of us. Any poses that are belly down. So in the beginning, if you're not showing and you may say, oh, it's fine, I would probably still avoid them. just because you don't want to put any pressure on your belly, on your baby's home. Pretty simple. So poses like cobra, or if you're doing shoulder stretches or anything lying on your belly, you can just flip over on your side, do some side core exercises, or just relax while everyone else is doing poses on their belly. Also, diastasis recti, that is a condition where the muscles of the abdomen can separate, and a lot of the times you won't even feel this happening, which is a little bit frightening. So things to help you avoid this are back bending, little back bends, baby back bends, if they've been in your practice and it's something that you want to do. If you feel like you really need to stretch this area of your body, slight baby back bends are probably okay. But I wouldn't go as deep as you normally go. And also if it is something that's not typically in your practice, it's not the time to start now. Also boat pose or anything, abdominal crunches, anything like that, where typically you can see when you're not pregnant, the muscles sort of form a little mountain, as they typically do in sit-ups or anything like that. Just avoiding those, it will really help to prevent the diastasis recti. Inversions, this is, I think, something that's a little bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit, it's not contradictory. What's the word? It's gonna come to me. Disputed, maybe, in the yoga world. So if you've been doing inversions for a long time and you can kick right up into a handstand and hold it for a day, wonderful. Probably would not harm you to go upside down while you're pregnant. But again, it's not the time to start your handstand practice, or if you've been practicing for a year now and you're getting ready to nail it, give it a break. It'll still be there after this year, after your beautiful baby is in your arms, and maybe you can practice together. So avoiding inversions if you are not typically an inversion junkie. Lying on your back after 20 weeks of pregnancy. So the reason we hear this and people say lie on your side or elevate your head is because we have a big vein, the vena cava, and it comes all the way from the low back. It pumps blood behind the uterus and liver to your heart. So if we put a lot of pressure on that, it can potentially slow the blood flow to your heart. So that is something you want to avoid. Shavasana is so nicely done if you prop yourself up on a bolster with a couple blocks underneath that. Lying on your side can be very comfortable as well. So definitely make sure to get your Shavasana in at the end of class, but do it with a little bit more love and cushion. And then the last thing I have today, which I hope I covered everything that's come to my mind today, is hot yoga. I do get a lot of questions about that because I love hot yoga. A lot of people that do yoga in the United States, especially now, it's almost hard to find a studio that doesn't offer hot yoga. But in pregnancy, it's not really recommended. When you're sweating so much, obviously it can cause fluid loss, which can increase your heart rate and decrease your blood volume, potentially causing stress to, or fetal stress. Also, relaxin, that hormone, that awesome hormone that we talked about earlier, pumping through your body again, and the heat makes us feel like we're Gumby, and you might end up getting injured or overstretching, and that's something that you definitely want to avoid. So if you can help it, find a studio that offers prenatal yoga, or go to a regular yoga class that isn't heated, and I think it will be highly beneficial for you. So take these tips if you'd like and apply them to your own home practice, your own yoga practice, and I hope this video finds you well. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment and I will get back to you. Namaste, my friends.